Hey guys, my name is Bryson Sessions and you're listening to the Bed Project Podcast. This show is a little bit different than other shows out there, so if you want an in-depth understanding of what it's about, please listen to episode 292B. It'll give you all the details for the show and what to expect. So that being said, here is today's episode. All right, so I'm recording my show here from my laptop, but I'm in my office, but I've had a blow-up mattress for a couple of years now. Totally forgot that I had it. And I've got this little nook or this little area in my office that's perfect size for the dimensions of my air mattress. And so I decided that I was going to blow it up, put a blanket on it, put some sheets or whatever. Not as a bed, but kind of as a couch. Just as another place for me to sit. Because It's fine sitting at my desk at the chair and everything. There's no problem with that. But sometimes I just want to kind of, lay back, have my laptop on my lap, hence the name laptop, crazy, and just do some typing, do some whatever. Just if it's the kind of work that I can do where all I have to do is type and then move my mouse as opposed to recording a video or I don't know, then I think having that option has been beneficial for me. So that's what I've done. That's what I'm doing right now. So I'm sitting on the air mattress. I've got a love sack, a little miniature one on this as well. And I'm using that as the backrest. So pretty comfortable, not gonna lie. And I don't want to get up, go to my desk, plug the thing in, turn the mic on. I don't want to do all that shit, so you're getting this. So there's a little intro for that. That being said, no idea what I want to talk about today. I will say though, second work day in a row with intermittent fasting. And I can say that at work, I was very awake. I was very alert, had some energy, and it was good. So 2 days in a row, I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but more importantly, or more significant in this discovery is that, again, I slept like shit last night because last night we had this crazy thunderstorm, lightning storm, hailstorm in August. That came through and really took a shit on everything around here. So whatever. Didn't sleep too well, but it is what it is. So here is an observation. So last night I ended my feeding window at about 7:30-ish, and 7:45-ish. And today, rather than starting my feeding window because it's 16 hours later, rather than starting it at 8 hours later, which would have been 11:45, I actually caved in a little bit and started at 11:25. And this at first was like, wow, dude, I don't have the self-control to wait 20 minutes to eat. What the hell's wrong with me? Like, am I really? So I was taking that as a big L, and I was really upset about that. And then I was like, I'm going to reframe this, because this is a very good lesson for me. Turns out, so my lunchtime at work is 10:30. You can take it 11 if you want, but after that, the next time that you have a break is about 1 o'clock. So 12 o'clock, which is the original plan, is kind of in between those two times. And I can go in there and eat no problem, but my observation and the lesson that I learned today was I'm trying to, alter my schedule to fit something else, when in reality, keeping my schedule the same as far as eating at the same time, so opening my eating window at 11 o'clock, that would probably do me good, because then I would have lunch at 11, and then I'd eat at 1 o'clock for first break, and then I would have a shake or something to eat after the gym around 4-ish, 3:30-ish. And then I'd eat one more time before I went to bed around 5 or 6. And then from 6 to 8 o'clock, there'd be no more food. So I'd probably have a snack if I needed to get more protein or something like that in. But that would take me to the end of the feeding window, which is more ideal. So all that to say, I think 11 to 7 for my feeding window is better than 12 to 8 or 12:30 to 8:30 or even 1 to 9. I'm not sure how that'll work on the weekends, but for work days, that seems like it could be the better option, because if I couldn't wait 20 minutes, that's that's a big lack of discipline to think that I waited 15 hours and 15 hours, 40 minutes. Couldn't make it the last 20, which is, I always think about that in terms of a race. Imagine running a marathon, but stopping when you're 200 feet away. That's some pussy shit, Just finish it. So really not happy with that. I'm beating myself up about things like that. But other than that, it was a good day. I'm now really tired, so that's good that I'm feeling tired now because I need to go to bed here in 40 minutes at 7:20 p.m. August 20th, Tuesday, 2024. So that's that. Also, as far as what I'm working on, I got the intake form or the first form filled out or created. Here's what I did, and I'm actually pretty excited about this. So I went through, made the form, took a while because instead of so a lot of the things that I'm doing right now, they're very simple and they don't take much time, but adding details and making things better and, just making it better. That's when time creeps up on me and, I use a lot of time in creating the things that I'm doing. So made this form, and the form has, 30 questions, and they're all multiple choice. Most of them are multiple choice or drop down boxes or, what is super simple to fill out. There's a few questions that are long form answers, so I need some details, something that I couldn't put in a multiple choice form. But then below each question, I have examples of how to answer and, some funny things. Like, for example, what's your full name? And then my example is Marianne Johnnyson Johansenson, the 8th junior. Just some stupid shit. Maybe that'll make someone laugh, or I don't know. If anything, my goal with putting stupid shit like that is to get someone to see my personality a little bit and understand that I'm sarcastic. I joke around a lot. If that wasn't already apparent from the social media content that I would put out at the time of somebody actually getting this. So anyway, made this form, and so I finalized it today. So with all the questions that I have, they're in there with the form's done. If I want to add or remove anything later, then that's what I'll do. But for right now, the form is done. So yet another thing that has been accomplished. So that's awesome. So what I did, and this is what I'm excited about, was I sent the form to myself, opened it up on my phone because 95% of the people doing this will see it on their phone. So the client side view from the mobile device is the most important part. So it doesn't matter what it looks like on my computer, it matters what it looks like on somebody's phone. So I sent it to myself on my phone, opened it up, filled out the survey myself. Very quickly, I put a whole bunch of bullshit in there just to see what it looked like. And it looks good. There's a few things that I'm going to change and add. And there's a few things that I did change and add as I went through it. So on my laptop, I have the form in edit mode. And then on my phone, I have the form in live taking the form mode, whatever. And it was cool because I was able to edit in real time the things that I saw. So I opened the form, immediately saw something I didn't like, I changed it. Boom, there's an improvement, Kept going, added a couple words here, kept going, added a line here for separation, kept going, made this bold, kept going, made this italic, I underlined this, whatever. Changed about 10 different things. And that's cool, man, because that's improvement. That's me thinking that I'm done with something and like, okay, cool, let's see what it looks like. And then I go and do it. And turns out it's actually not that good. I had to make 10 adjustments and now it is much better. And even now, talking about this now, there's so many different things that I can do to make it more appealing and look better and easier to read and easier to get through. And I'm excited about that. That had my attention. That was really fun for me. It sounds so silly, but making a form, then evaluating my form, grading it and changing it, updating it, making it better as I went. That was fucking fun for me. So that was pretty cool. I got that done. My goal actually was to get my camera out and then film a video of this form, how to fill it out, because with every single thing that I have in the program, I want there to be some kind of video, some kind of document explaining how to do everything so that there's no questions and that there is an exceptional level of service and support and detail and everything like that, because that's what I believe in. That's the kind of products that I want to be, the kind of services I want to be a part of, because I can't stand half-ass shit and poor communication. I mean, I literally quit FedEx because I had poor communicating management. So huge ass reason why. Couldn't text me back, I'm out, go fuck yourself. And it's cool because I'm in a position where I don't have to put up with that shit. I mean, I don't think anybody truly is, but there's definitely a bigger wall to climb if you got a family of 12 and you're working 300 jobs. You can't really afford to just quit one, you know? So, of course, there's some nuance to everything. But I'm in a position now where I can do that. So, pretty cool. Anyway, that's how that's going. Just called the intake form, just step 1 intake form. This is one of the first things the client would get after onboarding. They would get that in the second onboarding email. So far, I mean, that's the plan. So that's that. And I'm going to share one more thing that I felt or observed today. So on Instagram watching this ad for this other coach that coaches business, or excuse me, it's quite a chain here, but there's a fitness coach and there's a business coach for fitness coaches. And then there's business coaches for their businesses. So this guy's name is Taki Moore. Don't really know too much about him. And then he was coaching this guy named Brian Mark. I used to be in his mastermind or his group chat, or not his group chat, his big group, mastermind group, whatever you want to call it. That was the first one I ever joined, and I just lacked skills. I lacked attitude, the proper attitude. I lacked the proper perspective, and I lacked the willingness to learn and execute on the things that I did learn, which I wasn't learning because I had bad attitude. So it's a vicious cycle, multiple direction cycle. But in the video, he said, yeah, we've transitioned from sales calls to sell by chat, and we've made even more money doing sell by chat. So, and I share this because for me, it's like a kick in the balls, because the last few years have me been trying to get over the hump of not being a bitch and hopping on a sales call and just having, helping somebody out and doing a sales call and not being afraid to have them tell me no, not being afraid to handle objections, all that stuff. There's so much growth for me that's going to come with that. And I think a huge kickstart. I'm not farting, by the way. My foot is hitting the air mattress. But there's so much growth that has come for me with that phone call that I made to my FedEx manager and telling him I quit, because it doesn't even. This is the type of shit I'm talking about, man. That phone call, there's a full-blown phone call of me quitting my job live. Episode 301, I think. 301B. And I literally say, hey, kind of dick of me, which is so funny to say. Like, he kind of dick of me? Okay, whatever. Hey, I quit, not coming in. All right, bye. That's all I said. And I was contemplating not doing it. I was just going to text. I was just going to no call, no show. I was going to be petty and immature. But I wanted to force myself to get on the fucking phone and to stand up for myself. And I didn't even do that. I just said I quit, but whatever. And actually, because I was scared shitless. And it doesn't sound like it on the phone, but I was scared shitless. But I forced myself to do it. And I think that was, I know that was great for me, for my mental state, for my psyche, for everything. Because now I have proof that I can hop on the phone and handle some kind of super hard, awkward, weird ass conversation, whatever it is, and come out on the other side knowing that I did it. I didn't die. Nobody gives a fuck. His life's gonna move on. Mine's gonna move on, and I'm happier. He's probably gonna be shittier for the next couple weeks, so that I'm replaced, because everyone's replaceable. So, but doing that forced me to grow and level up. And then I think about that with other phone calls and sales calls that I will be getting on in the future this year. And so I'm like, hell yeah, I'm ready to grow. And then I see a video where it's like, yeah, we don't do sales calls anymore. That's bad. We do sell by chat. And first of all, I want to say, I know it was a video. I know it was an ad. I know it's just trying to get me to do this and that, persuade me to buy this and, take interest in this, whatever. I get that, fully understand. It doesn't mean that I don't see that. It doesn't mean that it doesn't infiltrate my head and cause me to think different thoughts or see things differently. So, and I wanted to share that for no other reason than to just document. That's the whole purpose of the show, because I think it's important. This type of shit, I think, it's harder to share because it means, I'm vulnerable. It means I'm weak. It means I'm thinking about different things. But the truth is, this is the most ideal type of shit that I would like to hear from people like Andy Frisella or Alex Hormozi, Jeff Bezos, Joe Rogan, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk. Just everybody, just hearing them say, damn, dude, I saw this guy, he came into the gym and he said this, and that made me want to quit, man, because, what am I doing? Or, oh man, dude, this guy came into my store and he didn't buy anything. He said I'd be a failure. Fuck, bro, it really got into my head. Nobody talks about that stuff because it makes them appear weak and, not strong and whatever. But that's the kind of shit I want to talk about. So, going to be super vulnerable a lot on the show. If you haven't noticed already, I'll share a lot of personal things, a lot of personal information, a lot of just everything on the show. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to chat about here, I guess. Again, started the show with no plan, but figured it out as I went along. So getting really good at that, actually. Just starting and figuring it out as I go. I would say a good 60% of all shows on the, I'd say at least half of the shows on this podcast, clicking the record button before I knew what I was going to talk about, before I had a plan. So me kind of just winging it, figuring it out as I go. So another way to look at it is I wouldn't have half the episodes that I do today if I didn't just start. So reminder or persuasion or whatever, kicking the ass to anybody who's on the fence about starting a fitness program or reading a book or starting a business or quitting their job. Just fucking do it. Just start. You'll figure it out as you go. I promise. So that being said, that's the show. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace out. If you haven't already, please go check out episode 292B. It explains what the show is about in depth. If you are a new listener and want to know what the hell is going on, why I sound like shit, why it's not organized, why it's not professional, 292B explains it perfectly. So go give that episode a listen if you haven't already. Thank you so much for giving my stuff a try, and I will see you tomorrow for another episode.